You can see they've got this train upright and it's moving back to connect to this other one here. I'm told 13 train cars spilled over. Fire Chief Scott Wolverton tells me that those 8 firefighters were treating a patient and they had a high risk exposure. Testing for COVID-19 plays a large role in reopening the state, and Louisiana is now ranked second in the country per capita for testing. They don't believe that Brookdale has been quite honest with them about these coronavirus cases. This morning, the Arklatex is recovering from severe weather. Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards issued a state of emergency. This is prototype number 6 of the Upshield. As you can see, it's pretty stylish. They even made it in pink. The most important thing, though, is that this is protective. A Baton Rouge police officer is dead, and another one is fighting for his life. Chuck Daigle says they have seen a reduction in volume, and that could be because of the freeze on non-emergent and non-priority surgeries. Another local man is behind bars, this time for property crimes that we told you about last week. We've learned the name of the man police believe fired several gunshots inside of a lobby of a local hotel. Doctors want to see how COVID-19 patients will be impacted by inhaled nitric oxide. He says soon there will be enough PPE for the medical field and for people just like us. As you can see in the room behind me, they have the equipment they need. Maybe just a fresh paint job and some floorboarding will do the trick here. In terms of reopening the economy, the governor says he and his team are still evaluating if we meet the criteria to enter phase 1. If you want to support any of these businesses, both are offering curbside pickup. Yep, that's shopping too. And you can also shop online. Brenda, I know you were saying earlier you need to get your lips waxed or something fun. This is what you can do to enjoy your time at home. Jerry, I'm not so sure about you though. Maybe the food's for you. Days after traveling through the Atlanta airport, David Langston started to feel symptoms.
My symptoms were headache, a slight cough, nothing big. I think I ached a little bit.
Langston tested negative for flu. He was given a steroid shot and pills. He felt good for a week, then started to run a fever. He went back to the quick care.
To that doctor's credit, he sent me home with some antibiotics and said, let's hope this will knock it out.
Langston tested negative again for the flu and strep. The symptoms got worse. He was sent to the ER at the Christus Highland Medical Center in Shreveport. He was isolated in a room, tested for COVID-19, and was given
antibiotics. They gave me some breathing treatments. They gave me some oxygen through the nose to assist, but I was never on a ventilator.
On March 11th, Langston found out he tested positive for the new coronavirus.
I'll be honest with you, I'm a 59-year-old guy, but I had tears go down my eyes because I was so upset.
He was worried about who else he may have infected. Soon, Langston found out his friend Kevin Calhoun, his wife, and another man all tested positive.
To be honest with you, I couldn't believe it because, like I said, my symptoms were very mild. I did have a fever at one time, but that was only like for a night, and I felt a little fatigue, maybe for a day or two, but nothing big at all.
Calhoun is a Caddo Parish deputy. He told me he was never hospitalized.
It was scary when I heard that I have it. I was like wondering, okay, what else is going to happen here? But nothing. By the time I was tested, I had no symptoms, and I felt fine.
This weekend, both men were retested. Their results were negative. That meant they could take part in a plasma therapy clinical trial.
We both offered to do this when we found out there was somebody in really bad shape that this could help them. It's what we volunteered to do.
Their donation would benefit Dr. Martha White, Region 7 State Health Department spokeswoman. Her husband is COVID-19 positive.
That lady is so nice. I mean, it's incredible. She's got a lot of weight on her shoulders. She's leading the charge to keep people informed in North Louisiana.
Langston tells me Dr. White was there for him when he was diagnosed.
The exciting part was they used my plasma to help Dr. White's husband. She has texted me since then and said that there has been some improvements.
Now, both men are encouraging people who have recovered to donate plasma.
It wasn't a bad experience at all. It's something, if it'll help people, other people need to do it.
They need to step up and start donating the plasma to help those that are less fortunate that their bodies can't fight it off.
On a sunny February day, Robbie Hayden headed out on Lake Bistineau.
I love to fish and been doing it since I was knee-high. I grew up on this lake.
Robbie, a captain at the Webster Parish Sheriff's Office, took a break from protecting others to test out his new boat.
I got out there and was fishing a little bit.
He was hoping to catch some catfish.
I had dropped my phone, and I'd cranked my boat, and I reached down to get my phone and the life jacket, and when I did, somehow I bumped the gas, And when I did, it just went full throttle, and it drove me out.
Robbie started treading water. When he looked up, he was shocked.
My boat just kept going, and it started circling.
Round and round.
I would say 5 times went around me.
Robbie started thinking, could he swim to the boat and put it back in neutral?
If it gets me under it, the prop's gonna get me.
He changed his mind.
I was able to swim out of the circle. There wasn't a tree within probably 250 yards of me. Picked me out a couple and started swimming, and my body gave out.
Robbie is 56 years old. He's dealt with health problems.
And I went down, went under, and I made my mind up that was gonna be the spot that, I died.
But he fought back.
Me and the Lord had a good talk. I come back up and got me some more air, and
He went down again.
I can remember looking up from under the water and seeing the sun and the blue sky, and I started thinking about my family and how bad it was gonna be on them.
Robbie started to think about his 2 uncles who drowned years ago.
I said, Lord, please give me just a little more strength. And when I came up that time, I wasn't up just a few seconds, and a man grabbed me.
A father and stepson idling nearby spotted Robbie struggling.
Those 2 men, they saved my life that day. I don't know if they knew it at the time, but they did.
Strangers, at the right place, at the right time.
They were God sent, and I thanked them as much as I could.
But Robbie wanted to do something else.
Those 2 men grabbed a hold to me. And why I'm telling y'all this story in your church today is because those 2 men are here.
Robbie surprised those 2 men, Steve Hammett and his stepson, Seth Basinger, at their church, Heflin Baptist.
And fellas, I want to thank y'all. Y'all saved my life, so I want to give you the book of life.
And the sheriff's office gave them awards, something Steve and Seth didn't expect. On that February day, they just happened to notice the boat without anyone on it.
We didn't see him at all until we got really close, and we could only see his head. He couldn't raise his arms up at that point. I guess he was already too tired. But
That's when Seth became Robbie's lifeline and roles reversed. For once, Robbie wasn't protecting people, he was being saved by them.
Everything from the beginning of the whole situation where we saw something may be wrong to the very end after we got his boat back, nothing could have gone any better.
Both men say God sent them to Robbie that day. They usually fish somewhere else.
Pretty apparent that it was God's deal, not ours. That's all that I think we want to make sure that, we don't want the credit.
It was God's will that those men were there at that time because we was total strangers. They didn't know me and I didn't know them. And but we'll know each other.
We'll be tied to Mr. Hayden forever. That's not something we're going to forget.
In Webster Parish, Dominique Brogel, KTBS 3 News.